Hey friends, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. That's weird to say. It feels like a Tuesday, but it's actually a Wednesday. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Chalk Couture. Once you hop on the live this evening or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and to tell me where you're watching from. I do real quick want to let you know that I'm live in 2 locations this evening. So if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person is probably watching from a different platform. And also, I want to just remind you that if you like what you see and you think others should see it, or you just want to help out my channel, please feel free to spread the craft love all over Facebook and YouTube. Share it wherever you can. Tag your crafty friends, invite them to watch along with you. And if you wouldn't mind also hitting that thumbs up button or that heart button, again, that not only helps my channel get seen by new viewers, but it also tells the algorithm that you like this kind of content. Therefore, it will push more content like this into your feed. So it helps both of us out. And I say thank you for that. And with that, let's go to the comments. I see that Jason is watching from the other side of the door. He is on YouTube land. And just keep in mind, those of you on Facebook, you lose the ability to see the replay after 30 days. Those go away. And if I don't re-upload them into a shorter video or a reel, you can always find all of my content since 2022-ish over on YouTube at just search Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and all of my videos from the past 4-ish or probably 3-ish years are over on YouTube. Just as a quick reminder, I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, a little bit of Pinterest. I do have an Etsy shop. All of that is listed in the Smart Bio in the description of the video. And before I flip the camera, I do want to show you this month's Club Couture kit. So it happens to be right here. So this is Chalk Couture's monthly subscription kit. It ships free. Shipping is free. It does not ship free. It does cost $25.99, as just a standard club member. There is a 3-month minimum commitment to sign up, but you can cancel at any time after that 3 months. You can sign up just as a regular club member. You can sign up as a Perks club member, which means that you save 30% off of your club membership. There is a slight fee for that, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Or you can do what I do, and you can join the Club Couture program as a designer, and then that one is 40% off of your club subscription, so that it would be $17.99. So there's about 3 different ways that you can be a club member. So this month's club comes with this pretty in plaid size B exclusive transfer. So every Club Couture kit comes with an exclusive reusable silkscreen transfer. This one happens to be a fun plaid color this month. Every club kit comes with either ink or paste singles. This month's are vanilla and shimmer gold. So these little paste packets, just think of them as extra large ketchup packets, have the Chalkology paste in them. Some months they have ink, depending on what the project is. And depending on the size of your project, you could probably get 3 to 5 different projects with each of these singles, depending on, again, the size and the detail of your project. And then each club kit comes with an accompanying chalkable, inkable surface. This one is it's just called the frame, but it's a 4x6 frame, but there are 4 pieces. Let me just cut into it, and it is an MDF surface, so it's going to be super smooth. So it has this base piece, and it's missing the 2 side pieces. This is the back, so you unscrew these little photo hinges, and that's where you would put in your picture. And then it also has these 2 little pieces, and I guess I maybe should have watched the video to see if there's a reason why they're not connected. But we're not going to do this tonight, but because I wanted to get these other projects done. But if you are interested in the club kit, you can either put club in the comments and I will send you some information, or you can click the link in the description of the video that takes you straight to my Club Couture page. So I have a separate link for the Club Couture program in the description of the video. So with that, let's put it away, put it back in its little baggie, and then I will turn the camera down. I quit fighting with this plastic bag. Okay, so we will do that maybe on Friday. If not, it might be a week later because I have other things planned next week. Okay, so let's turn down the camera and I will show you everything that we are using for our project this evening. So I have the size B fall favorites. This kind of reminds me of all of the kind of the icon graphics that you see, like our Walmart just had a remodel, so a lot of this stuff is the kind of the tone on tone icons. So this kind of reminds me of that same icon graphic. So there's all sorts of fall simple graphics on there. I'm also going to use similar style. This one is called Charcuterie. It is also size B. All of this is linked in the cart link of the description. I have these. They are 14 by about 9.5 total. Just some simple pine cutting boards. I purchased them on super clearance down at Flipping Fabulous, a local boutique and DIY store downtown. I did trace out the pattern, so I hopefully will have some more of these cut and available soon when the weather cools off. So these are our surfaces that we're going to use. We're going to give it at least one of them a treatment with sea spray combined with chalk paste. So you need 2 to 4 colors of chalk paste. So I picked Hey Pumpkin, Ivy, Marmalade, and Lagoon. And then all of the design will be in espresso. I failed to put this one in the cart link, so my apologies. You'll also need a base coat. So I used white, or I'm going to be using Waverly Snow White. And then you'll need some color trays. You'll need some sort of stir sticks. And I'm hoping that Chalk Couture is going to release something else. These are no longer available, like period, not at all. If you need some though, I have some in stock, but I've also used these little things. I got them on Amazon years and years and years ago. Or I've also used like these drink stir sticks, these cocktail stir sticks. They work great too. So you want to try to avoid popsicle sticks because the wood of the popsicle stick is porous and it'll kind of dry out it kind of soaks up the moisture in the chalk paste and it'll dry your paste out quicker. I also have a palette knife. Again, I stained these with Waverly Antique Wax. You could also use the same version from Folk Art. And then if you're messy like me, you'll need some wipes. And Jason is saying hello from Facebook. So let's go ahead and get both of these painted. So I'm going to put a little bit of paint into my bowl here. And it's kind of on the thick side. So I'm going to water it down just a skosh. Probably don't need that much, but okay. I'm also going to I'm going to do my version of distress painting. And I'm going to distress paint one of them, and I will distress paint the other one later. Figure out forgot what I was doing here. Okay, so we're just going to base paint this one. It's just going to be a simple white with espresso paint or espresso chalk paste for the graphic for the design. So I'm just kind of quasi loading this chip brush with some paint. You can put as little or as much as you want on it. And I'm going to try to go off the edge so I can avoid getting any on the sides. So sometimes I wipe it off, sometimes I don't. And that's kind of how I get that kind of aged look. So how's everyone doing this evening? Okay. Looking kind of aged and distressed. Kind of painting myself into a corner here. Jason says he's doing great. The work week is half over. I've got a bristle in there, so I'm going to try to get that out and then kind of even everything else out. No, I love the 3-day weekends, but it makes for a hard 4-day work week. This is going to be slightly difficult. Okay. How's that look? Is that past muster? Looks pretty vintage to me. So we're just going to let that one hang out. I'm going to put some of this back just because I don't need it right now. I might need it later. And I'm going to cover up my brush with one of these fold over sandwich bags. And let that sit for a wee bit. Jason's must have a dad joke of the night. He says, "What do you get when you rub 2 oranges together?" I don't know. What do you get? Orange rubby? Orange rummy? I don't know. Pulp Friction. He's funny. Okay, so next for this cutting board, I'm gonna pull out my 4 little color trays. And I'm going to add some, I never know how much to put in there. Let's add some marmalade. This is one of the new On Vogue colors. So On Vogue colors can sell out unless Chalk Couture decides to put them in the regular lineup. Sometimes they sell out and then they put them back in the regular lineup. But so if you like some of these colors, you might want to go ahead and pick them up. Hey Pumpkin is not available anymore, but you could use, you could add a little bit, maybe of Bumblebee, which is the yellow, to marmalade and kind of lighten it a bit. Or you could pick a different color, like Currant Jam would be a pretty fall color to add to these. This is one of the, Lagoon is also an On Vogue color. This Ivy is also an On Vogue color, and it will be perfect. It's a perfect fall color, but it's also fantastic for the upcoming holidays. Lagoon is great for fall, but it also transitions well into winter. Marmalade is, of course, is great for fall, but it's also great for Halloween. So this is the Dixie Belle Sea Spray. It's just a texture additive that you can add to paints, all sorts of fun stuff. So it doesn't take much. So it's just kind of a powdery, sandy formula. So I'm just going to add, I'm going to start out with just a skosh. Because it's just going to kind of thicken up your chalk paste a little bit and kind of give it a sandy texture. You don't want a lot. Might be way too much. Oops. If it gets too thick on you, you just need to add more paste. So I'd say not even that much. I think I added a little bit too much to Lagoon, but we'll see. And then we'll add a little bit to Ivy. Okay. Let me get a wipe out just because I know I'm going to need one. Put that over there. Okay, so we just want to bring in our surface. Again, this is a 9 by, did I say 14-ish cutting board. And so you're just going to bring in your paste. You may not have added enough to that one. Let's see. Add some to the edge over here. And it doesn't have to be smooth. Yeah, this is a much better consistency, I think, compared to, I don't know if you can see all the texture in the Lagoon. Such a pretty color. And you just want to kind of do it haphazardly, no rhyme or reason. Oops. I'm just going to pick some of that up. So then we'll come in with our Hey Pumpkin. There's that one down the side. Okay, we'll pick up some more of it. Some up here. So it's kind of, when you're all finished, it's kind of going to give you it's been painted over several times kind of vibe. Like we're kind of on like the 5th coat of paint. Okay. So we can pick up the rest of that. Okay. Now the ivy. I'm just going to fill in the gaps. This is definitely one of those projects where you kind of have to trust the process. Okay. I think that's good. And then all this is water, cleans up well with water. So we're good there. And then we just need to let it dry. Jason says you do such a good job picking colors. This is just a fun little fall color palette. I mean, what's not to love about Lagoon and this Hey Pumpkin that's almost a mustard yellow color. Okay, I'm going to get my hair dryer out. You can use the quick dry tool or you can use a hair dryer, either one. Just because there's a little bit more dry time involved, I gotta quit saying I'm going to use my hair dryer. I probably should have painted it on, but I didn't. So this would be a good time to talk about a few things. So the color of the month, ooh, that's big. It's called Vanity, I believe. So it is a metallic rose gold. So you can unlock the ability to purchase Vanity with a $75 order. This one will probably go quick. I know I say that every month, but I have a feeling this one will go quick. All the shimmers usually do. And here are some of the projects that have been made with Vanity. So those are the 3D wood trees with the mistletoe pattern, which is about ready to sell out. There are quite a few transfers that are getting low on quantity that will not reorder, especially the ones from the autumn collection, excuse me, and the Peanuts autumn collection. I also want to remind you that today is the last day for the summer wing sale. So there are lots of summer and Halloween styles that are on super sale. So I have my shopping link in the description of the video, so you can check out all of that. And then for perks and designers, there is a Labor Day 20% off with a, oops, oh man, where'd I go? 20% off of a $100 order. Oh no, I can't get that one off. Okay, so $100 off, 20% off of a $100 order if you are a Perks member or a designer with the code LABOR20, I believe. Again, that's just for Perks or designers, and that runs through 11:59 p.m. today. So if you're already a Perks member, remember that you are getting 30% off, plus you can get an additional 20% off of what's in your cart. So that's a heck of a deal. And it's not too late to join Perks. If you want more information about that, let me pull that up. What is the deal? I've got some issues going on. There we go. I've got something going on in my studio. Oh well, I can't access it now. So anyway, the Perks membership is kind of like your Crafty Costco membership. So you pay $20 a month, but as soon as your payment goes through, you get an automatic $20 product credit back to use within that month. And then you also unlock the ability to shop all of the products at 30% off all of the time. So in my mind, which I'm not very good at math, that's like free when you apply crafty math to it. So I'm just trying to get most of this dry. Hashtag crafty math. Okay, so let's let that dry a little bit on its own. And then let's bring this one back in. I'm going to do a little tiny bit of sanding. Sander without knocking everything over. I just want to smooth out my surface. So if you're wearing earbuds, I apologize. I'm going to go and hit the edges too, just might save that for later. Okay, so I think we're mostly smooth. We're definitely smoother than we were. And if you're new around these parts, I always usually sand my edges. Oh, it goes off by itself. I think I have it set on a timer to go off, otherwise I would forget to take it off all the time. Thanks, though. Okay, I'll need that again later. Okay, that's good for now. And then I'm also going to wax it. Oh gosh, I don't drop everything first. So there is surface wax and applicators available in my chalk site. But I've had this gargantuan tub since the beginning of my Chalk Couture journey, and I am bound and determined to use it up. But I've been using this since 2018, and it's not going anywhere. It's Minwax pasting wax. It is actually my favorite. So you just need to get a little bit on your applicator. This is actually just from the Dollar Tree. I just kind of grabbed what I had. These get gunky after a while, so you can wash them with a little. I kind of spray them with some Dawn Power Wash and let them sit for a while. They don't come perfectly clean, but at least get some of that wax buildup off. So this wax is going to be a protective layer between my painted surface and my transfer. So it's going to protect this from being pulled up by my transfer, and it's going to protect my transfer from keeping it from sticking so much that it stretches itself out. Again, if you're new around here, these are reusable about 8 to 12 times, depending on how well you take care of them. Hello, Miss Bonita. Welcome, welcome. So because I need to return it to this carrier sheet, I need to know which side is the front side, and I need to know which side is the back side. So I'm just going to write the name of the transfer. Pretty good. It's not an easy word to spell. So we are working on these cutting boards. I distressed this one after I sealed it with my antique wax. This one we have added Dixie Belle Sea Spray to all of my paste. I'm using Marmalade, Hey Pumpkin, which Hey Pumpkin's not available, but you could probably add Bumblebee to Marmalade and come up with this mustardy orange color. And then we've got Lagoon and Ivy. So that's all sitting there fermenting and drying. Oh, is it not coming? I don't know how to get it off because maybe that's what Jason meant. It's not showing for me and I don't know how to get it off. Dang it. I was afraid of that. So let's... did that get it off? Is the graphic gone now? Nope. Well, it's right in the middle of the screen. That's the funny, because it's not showing for me. Technology, you gotta love it. I'm still here. I'm just trying to figure all this out. Which the graphic I deleted a while ago. I don't know why it's still there. I wonder if I refreshed, what would happen. Hang tight. I'm going to try to refresh and see. I'll let you guys catch up and see if that did anything. Nope. It's still there. Gosh. I don't even have that graphic. I don't know how to get it off because I removed it. Well, that's a bummer. That's what I get for trying to be fancy. Let's just... Yay, I fixed it. I think. You'll tell me if I fixed it. It looks like I fixed it on my end. Jason says it's gone. So I just had to recreated a new scene and fixed it that way. Oh, okay. So I was explaining this. So this is the cutting board that we've added sea spray and chalk paste to. So it's kind of drying over here in the shadows. But we're going to use this charcuterie transfer on our cutting board. So I've waxed my cutting board. Well, it's a cutting board. It's actually just decorative. And then we're going to remove our sticky back transfer. That's what I get for trying to be fancy. Throwing all these graphics up and then they get stuck. So we're just fuzzing this transfer So I'm just basically laying it on this terry cloth towel, and it's picking up the little bit of lint that I have on this towel, and it's just going to knock back a little bit of that adhesive so it's not so sticky. That way it doesn't stick so much to my surface that it stretches or distorts itself. Okie doke, that should be good for now. Put that over there. Okay, let's bring in our I'm just going to use my straight edges here and here to kind of help line it up. It actually looks pretty good. Okay, so we're just going to use espresso. So I'm going to get a small squeegee. I'm just going to dip said squeegee into my paste. And we're just going to cover the silkscreen areas. This is kind of, one of those kind of one and done projects. One color. Just mind your edges. I'm going to put all my excess back in the jar. And I'm going to use my squeegee to kind of even everything out. Ooh, it's already starting to dry. And then we're just going to peel back. We're going to peel and reveal. Ta-da! Love it. No weeding. No getting vinyl all wadded up in a mess. No losing your eyes, your punctuation, the dots to your eyes. I do have a blob right here. I need to try to probably get off. Because that's brown, it'll just kind of blend in a little bit. Give it some age. Perfect. Abso-stinkin' perfect. So that was espresso. So that one is done. I'm going to probably add a little bit of some fabric strips to it later. This I'm going to take to my sink real quick and spray with some water so that I can wash it off easily when I'm finished. That's where I dropped my water bottle. So everything pretty much cleans up with water, which is fantastic. It's pretty simple. It's not very messy. It's as messy as you make it. The squeegees also clean up with water. Okay, let's make sure this is dry. I think some of the clumps are probably not very dry. It's pretty dry. Okay. So your next step is to paint it with whatever top coat you want. I think trying to decide if I want white or if I want plaster. And that might be determined by my plaster is hard as a rock. Could also use mineral, but I don't want to use mineral. So I think we may go with plaster. Let's see. That way we have a little bit of contrast between projects. If one, I can get the lid off, which is highly doubtful. Oh, I got it. Two, whether it's all dried up. That's the only bad thing about chalk paint, but the nice thing is you can add water. I think I see life down there. I think that's probably all I need. And I'm going to add quite a bit of water. Well, not quite a bit, but enough to make it paintable. And if a little bit of white gets in there, I'm okay with that. Okay, let's get our other paintbrush out. I'm thinking I have the right steps. It's been a while since I've used sea spray. Benita says her plaster always dries up on her. Yeah, it's the one that dries up the most. I don't know why. Okay, where did my paper towels go? Okay, if I'm doing it wrong, holler at me before I get too far, but I think this is how you, and you can cover it up as little or as much as you want. I'm going to try to leave maybe some of the brown showing, but you can also sand off where you don't want it. Like if you want to expose more of the brown. Again, trust the process. You also don't want to do a whole lot of swiping where that chalk paste is, because you're going to start mixing your paint in with that paste and reacting, and it's going to reactivate, so some of that my plaster is kind of turning a wee bit yellow. I didn't get enough out. I've tried to start putting, I need to get some more, but some of that press and seal on the tops of or in between it just kind of helps cut down on all the hard, dried up paint pieces. It kind of keeps things a little less messy. Okay, just keep. It's kind of looking like a kindergartner painted this. Oops. I try to keep it off the edges as much as I can. Not always successful. Okay, let's keep going. Does this look right, Miss Bonita? Jason, I think you've watched this one some before. I need to do more with sea spray. I just forget about it. Okay, let's. I may have to sand in there when I'm done. Okay, let's let that dry. Get rid of my fingerprint right there. I am a mess now. Benita says she has to have her husband Rick open it for her. That's where the press and seal kind of helps too, is it doesn't dry when you've got paint stuck on the lip of your jar and then you put your paint lid on. That's when your paint jar gets stuck. All that paint dries on there, and then. But yeah. That's where that piece of jar line or a shelf liner works too. Okay, let's get this thing dry. Let's push that out of the way. Hair dryer. So it looks a hot mess right now. But you can kind of see some of that color underneath. I probably have a little bit too much texture, like as far as clumps, but we'll sand all that off. This might take a while to dry. I really slopped the paint on there. Also, just so you know, there will be the big holiday launch will happen next Tuesday, I believe, the 9th. I think. Or is it the 10th? I think it's the 9th. So next week is the big holiday launch. I don't know what it is. Ooh, she's still wet. You might also mark your calendars for October 16th. My friend Ashley and Caitlin and I are hosting a Galentine, or not Galentine, a Galloween workshop down at Cuts and Curls in the evening. We'll be making 2 versions of bag tassels. So get your costumes ready, get your gal friends together, and we will dress up and have fun for Halloween. It's still cold. So Benita, what have you been working on lately? Getting there. Okay, let's give it a whirl. I kind of want to see where I really need to focus. I mean, I'm going to try to get all of those lumps and bumps off, but okay, so here is the messy part. So let's see. I think I got rid of that box that I was using to sand, but Let's use this. See if we can contain a little bit of the mess. Okay, oops. Okay, so I'm just going to take my sander and I'm going to try to get all of this texture off. I probably added a little bit too much texture, but that just also adds character. And wherever we stand, we're going to expose that color that we have. And I'm just going to end up making it all green and yellow. Yeah. Let's change out that. Stick that one on there. We're starting to expose some of that color. It's a little more smooth. Get another piece of sandpaper out. Okay, now we're looking where there's taters. Slap another one on here. Just, it starts to clog up after a while. Oops. And then the colors start mixing. Ooh, it should be dusty in here. Getting all sorts of colors. Gonna need a good vacuuming when I'm done. Smooth now. A little bit over here. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now that I can't see through the layer of dust floating around in here. Oh my. Oh, you should see my lap. Okay, let's I hope paint dust isn't as flammable as like weed dust is. One of these days I'm just gonna go up in flames. Okay. Might be messy. Okay. I think we're good now. Throw that out. I didn't need those, so I'll put those away. She's working on, Bonita says she's working on fall decor. Not sure why though. Have way more than I can display at home. Guess she'll be taking some to work. But you always make your office look so cute. I need to add more decor to my office. Okay, I'm pooped. That's hard work, sanding. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we did with the other one as far as waxing. So here is what we ended up with. And you can take more paint off. Like I could come in here now that I've cleaned up my area. You know, you could, you could dig in and take off more on the sides if you wanted to. Come in here. Okay. Quit making a mess, Robin. But you see what? Yeah, I probably added a little bit too much color. I need to maybe do some YouTube diving to see what other people, how they use the sea spray. So same thing, we just need to add a little bit of wax to it to protect all of that. Gives me a smooth surface to paste on. Just like butter. You see all that shine? Jason says that's so cool looking. I think the amount of color is perfect. It's a little wild, but it's okay. But yeah, I like it. Okay. So we'll come in with our transfer. And again, we need to label it so we know that that is the back side. This one is called Fall Favorites. And we need to buzz it. Okay, I think that's good. Again, I'm going to use the sides of my cutting board here and on this side to make sure that it's kind of straight, mostly straight. It's just so pretty sticky. I'm going to come back in with espresso. Mind your edges. And you want to even everything out. And we're going to put all that back. And there's that one. It's probably a little busy, but it works. I think it's pretty. And so again, I will take this one to my sink and spray it off with some water when I'm finished. Or maybe right now so I don't forget. So there's that one. Again, it is a little busy. Maybe I should have just stuck with one color. Benita says she's loving the board with all of the base colors. And then Jason says, wow. Really fun. Okay, let me go spray this one off as well. And then we'll come back and we'll accessorize. Oh my. Okay. It'd be really cute with a fabric bow with a bead dangle with some beads that are painted in the same colors. I may have to add that later. Okay, let's get washed here. I need to put my sanders away. Let's get those out of the way. Okay, let's see. I don't think I have any fabric. No, I don't have much out that will work. I mean, this orange would probably work. Some of this wood. That might be a little bit too bright for that one. That's probably too busy. Could maybe go with just those three for that one. And then I don't think I like that one. For this one, what do you think of those three? Do I need to add? I think if I add too many colors, because I don't know if I have, oops, all of those colors. I could maybe add in a little bit of yellow. Let's see what I have. I have that one. And I have that one. Do either of those two yellows work? And then for this one, I was just thinking, I also have an ivory bandana. I was kind of thinking some shades of creams and leopards. What do y'all think? Jason says he likes them both. Pick one. I'm going to put this to the side so I don't get paint everywhere. Ooh, I'm going to need a serious vacuum. Jason says the checks. Okay. Whoops. Let me put that one away. I kind of think just those three. Let's see. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let's put those away. Let's get this little jobber dauber out. Sorry, this one live is super long, but it's kind of how I roll. But for two projects, an hour and a half in is not too terrible. Oops, I want that way. Right. Yeah. Okay, so I have some of these strips already cut. Or torn. So not only do we sand our edges around here, we also tear fabric. You know, that's cheaper than therapy. It's probably also more fun. So I think I have plenty of those. So let's get some of this out. So I don't believe I have any green or blue that would match. So I'm just going to cut a little slit into this fabric, and I'm literally going to tear it. And it's way faster than cutting it. And we're just going to cut those pieces in half. So I use fat quarters, which are kind of about 18 by 18-ish. They're pretty much a quarter. Like if you laid out a square yard of fabric, a fat quarter is literally like, so like if this was your yard-ish, your fat quarter is like this chunk. It's literally like a quarter of the yard. It's like a square quarter. At least that's how it was explained to me. Okay, so then let's add a little bit of this yellow. I also get bandanas from Hobby Lobby, and I really like bandanas. They're about 22 inches square. But what I like about the bandanas is they come in a ton of colors, and there's no right or wrong side, so the fabric looks the same on both sides. Whereas, like with this fabric, this is the right side and this is the wrong side. But with bandanas, you don't get that. About every time I'm in Hobby Lobby, I go check the remnant aisle, which I think this check was a remnant. So I just see if there's solid or print fabrics that I could use. And I usually pick them up and they're usually fairly cheap. I know this was a remnant. This is a bandana from Hobby Lobby. This was part of a bundle, I think, with different browns. Sometimes you can get fat quarter bundles that coordinate together. And then sometimes I just go to Walmart. In the Waverly brand, they carry fat quarters. They also, and I noticed this at Hobby Lobby the other day too, they have, Walmart started carrying them first, but they have yardage, they have fabric by, in like 1 yard increments that are rolled. They're packaged like a fat quarter, but they're actually 1 yard, and they have 2 yard lengths as well. And I noticed when I was at Hobby Lobby today, on one of the end caps in the fabric section, they also carry some of those pre-cut yardages of fabric. So I'm just layering these up with my little mini bow dabber. I'm probably gonna have to cut that one. It's super long. And I just literally randomly do this. No really rhyme or reason. No pattern. And I did put a piece of twine down first. That'll be how I tie it off. So ivory ones are super long. And I just kind of squash them down every so often. Okay, and so then I'm going to take my twine, I'm going to pull it up just a skosh. Then I'm going to take my twine and tie it pretty tight. Don't pull too hard. Oops, I don't want it. The thing with the bow dabber is then it ends up really tall. But kind of squash everything down. And you could add raffia to this. You could add more twine. I'm going to pull that around to the back and tie it again. And if I didn't get it tight the first time, then that kind of helps get it tight the second time. And then that'll be what I use to tie on the cutting board. I'll probably also do a little bit of hot gluing. I need to add a stick. And then I kind of like to just hold on to my tails and then kind of shake it out. Not only does it get some of those loose strings, but it just kind of gives it a little bit more shape. And I have strings in my hair now. And the messier, the better. And then if there's any that you think are too long, you can give those a little whack. If these ivory ones are way too long. Although they're kind of fun hanging out like that, but. You can put something in the middle if you like, a jingle bell, a tag, a button. I just usually leave mine plain. So that's a cute little bow. So we'll add that one to this. Oops, you can't see that at all, can you? Golly darn it. We'll put it up. I have not painted the back yet. No judging. I normally have the back painted when I do this, but I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. Let's clean that off a little bit. Well, there's that one. And if you do want to use these are decorative, but if you want to use them as like a serving platter, I would put like either some saran wrap, or you can get some of those flexible cutting mats that are mostly transparent, and lay it over this. You could even cut it to the same size and then just lay it on there. You could even just use like a small glass plate, a small glass serving tray, just put it on top so that it kind of acts as, this would act as your charger, and you can see the design through the clear plate or cutting mat or whatever. Okay, so while that's still heating up, we'll do the other one. I have the hiccups, sorry. Okay, so let's put that one over here so you can kind of see it. Okay. Let's get these fabrics. And I may not use, this one doesn't tear very well. It's also thicker, but so is that one, and it kind of looks pretty. I may just have to cut this one into little pieces. Okay. Jason says he loves this project. Bonita says the bow is perfect. Thank you for this project. Okay. So I'm just going to cut. I might tear off 2 pieces because I don't know how many of this I need. I try to, I've learned to start folding this as I go. Otherwise, I just end up with piles of fabric because I still have a big old pile of fabric to my right from weeks ago that I have not put away. It's just wadded up in a big old mess. So I'm just going to fold those into quarters and just cut those apart. That doesn't have any bandana pattern on it, but I'm okay with that. It actually might work out better. Same thing with this one. Give it a little pizzazz. A couple of little slits. Tear it. And the bandanas tear super easy. Another reason why I like to use them. folds. I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we'll tear that one, and then we'll fold and cut. It's going to be short. And then we'll do the brown one, which the cream and the brown are newer colors. They also have a really pretty, like, eucalyptus-y green color. They've added some new bandanas to their lineup. They also have like strawberries and buffalo check, they have cow print. You name it, they have it. I usually buy them in all the school colors, the local school colors. So if you ever see, most of my bows that I add to door hangers and signs will have at least one bandana in the messy bow. Okay, there's that one. And then I don't think this tears very well, but we'll give it a try. Oh, I stand corrected. Oh, see, sometimes I have to help this one. We'll just help it along. We'll have that one. Since I already have cream, probably won't use this many. I think that'll be good. Okay, so we'll put that one away. Okay, let's cut another piece of twine. And then, okay. So again, we'll just do it the same way. Just kind of varying our colors. Some will go up, some will go down, some will go in the middle. Grabbed two. You just want to keep layering them. That one will have to be cut. This one might be a little shorter, but so just keep layering. Okay, I can already tell you that that one needs cut. And then you can take this little guy. It doesn't necessarily work the best, but smash it all down. And it usually ends up kind of long like that. So before you tighten it all the way, you can kind of smash it and round it out. Tie it. And then I'm going to take it around the back. So that way, if I didn't get it tight the first time, tying it back this way, we'll get it again. And then I have something to tie on my cutting board. And then take your little tails and shake it. Okay. Oof. I'm going to bring this one back in. I'm going to put some glue. That was a bad use of a word. I'm going to squeeze some glue into there on both sides just to keep it from flopping around. Super cute. And I'll do the same to this one once we get it tied on. This one doesn't seem as full. Probably didn't use as many. If you don't like that twine showing, no, this one doesn't quite match, but you could take another piece and wrap it around the twine so that you don't see it. And actually, and then I'm going to tie it in the back and just let it kind of hang out. Nobody's gonna know. Oh, kind of. Well, sort of, kind of. This one might be a good candidate for something in the middle. Kind of gapes in the middle a little bit. So you just want to tie it on the back. And then I'm going to ooze some glue in there. Here's that one. So it does gape in the middle a little bit. You could add a cute little wooden button or a vintage button. You just leave it alone. Or you could, that would be a great way maybe to place to hang some beads. I think that would look super cute anyway. I'm just going to leave it because I kind of like it like that. It looks more like a bow than it does like a poof ball that way, I guess. That's one way you can look at it. So let's, dang, an hour and 45 minutes later. So So here is one cutting board. And then here is the other cutting board. You have to tell me which one you like. If you like one over the other. Super fun. I love them both. I mean, this one is great for every day. And then this one is great for all of your fall things. Super fun, super inexpensive, but really fun to make and very, I mean, it kind of looks high end, slightly. Jason says he likes them both. I think they're super fun. They're going to be hard to sell, but I have the pattern so I can make more. Okie doke. I'm going to go and hop off for the evening. I am not available next week for lives, and I don't have anything pre-planned. But I will have some extra time during the day on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning. So depending on what projects I have with me, I may just hop on just so we can chit chat for a little bit. And if I'm doing a paper crafting activity, we can chit chat while I do that. So maybe I'll do that instead. So just be watching my page to see if I get those scheduled. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me this evening. Thanks for helping me out with some of these projects and some of the fabric choices. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Thanks for helping me out during my technical difficulties. I'm glad we got it fixed, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching.